Hello and welcome everybody, and thank you guys for joining me once again. My name is Wilky and I'm here with my Catspaw. She's currently level 33, so I was making a bit of progress, and we're just gonna jump ahead and do a couple dungeons. And first things first, I do have to say, for now, I assume this is why a lot of people said the Acrobat on the C server is our Catspaw or Cat Girl or Cat Acrobat, what it's called in their version. So if anybody refers to that, this is the class I'm currently playing. And yes, indeed, this is quite literally a class that involves or uses a lot of vertical movement in her combos. She can use probably half of the skills I currently have. I can use those while being airborne, stuff like that, and you can combo it into her passive and other things. You can go for this mid-air and then use the others. Like, there's so many things you can actually use mid-air and combo together. It's kind of interesting, and it gives the whole game a new dynamic. However, I'm not entirely sure how important those aerial combos actually are, because so far, most of these bosses, I was able to stagger them just fine on the ground as well. So, I'm not entirely sure how, as I said, important that's going to be. So far, though, I do like the class, and the meowing and cat sounds are not that extreme. Like, I was expecting a lot more of that, but it's actually not that bad. Maybe that'll change with some of the later skills, but so far it's actually quite manageable and not nearly as bad as I thought it's going to be. And yeah, I figured out how her passive abilities basically work. So we have that one buff that gives you additional damage once your combo counter goes above 50. And as long as it's above 50, the buff will keep refreshing itself. So that's really, really cool. So as long as you don't drop the combo, the buff is gonna remain active. And as soon as you stop hitting or basically drop your combo, the 10 seconds will then start to drop down. So that's really cool. And the other passive she has is that cat paw, that purple icon you see above some of these mobs, is after you deal a certain number of hits, these enemies will be marked with a cat's paw, and then you have to trigger or press right click to trigger one or her second passive ability. Or it's not really passive that sort, it basically is called cat scratch, which then will let you leap to the target and do a few moves. So that's really cool. It actually deals quite nice damage. It gives you a lot of mobility, and if you use it right, I'm not sure if the move itself, I don't think it's an iframe, but it definitely allows you to reposition yourself quite quickly amidst the battle while basically being inside of a combo, so that's really, really cool. And yeah, as you can see, I'm deleting these mobs quite easily, even though I don't even have the set bonus of the outfit, which my other characters had, so there's that. And yeah, also for bosses, she seems quite good. As you can see, I'm still in mid-air. And oops, that was not the right direction. Oh, he slashed. Whoa, he insta-killed me. What the hell was that? Rude. He literally insta-killed me. Because I guess I whiffed my combo, so... Oh well. I have them resurrection stones for a reason. So there's that. And yeah, actually I kind of like the class so far. As I said, I'm still not sure how important those aerial moves are going to be. They're definitely nice. And keep in mind that some of the skills are basically ground based. So if some bosses use certain AoEs, you basically jump to dodge them or avoid them. So obviously Catspaw will naturally be more airborne than most other classes, or probably all other classes. So by nature, she's probably not gonna get hit as much. And as far as the other skills go, I'm sure there's gonna be more skills like that, and that these skills follow the same rule. I mean, that skill launches me in midair, that will allow me to be midair, can be used in midair, can be used in midair. I think that one can be used in midair. Like, without two skills or so, I can use everything in midair, so that's actually, as I said, quite nice that there is at least one class that takes in the verticality, but as I said, I don't think the game is really made and based around that. So most of the times it's really just about staggering them and just knocking them off the ground. And that's really it. Let's go for one more dungeon. Yeah, we actually have to change location, so that's good. I'm not gonna go for the same dungeon again. And I should actually take a look at my skills. I think I have a bunch of skill points left. Early on in the game, you have a lot of skill points. You can basically just go ahead and skill everything. I mean, the base things you don't really have to, but I have 69 skill points left, so I can literally just max all of the skills I currently have and still have a bunch of them left. So that'll change later on though. Once you're 50 plus, you actually get to the point where you have to be a little bit picky about your skills. And at 60, I really had to make a decision on what skills I wanted to max and which ones I did not want to max. Though usually it is a very, well, at least on my Doomblade, it was a very clear-cut idea of what I'm going to max and what not. Because some of these skills just have horrendously good scalings and very good effects and good cooldowns. And other skills just had really poor scalings, or generally just were not that great. So it made my choice at least very easy as a Doomblade. Obviously other classes may have harder choices in that regard, and there's also a couple new systems that we will not have yet. I'm not sure if we're gonna get them with open beta or launch, but there's something called imprinting on the Southeast Asian servers, which I assume they work similar to the Awakening. They just buff and change skills in terms of they add more damage, change effects and stuff like that. Like when I've seen videos off the level 70 cap, which is currently what these servers are at, so we're gonna be catching up in a bit. Like some of these skills look insanely cool and quite different from what I currently have. So there's that. So there's definitely something in the making, and there will be changes to our version as well. The question is when. So far, I have not learned anything new about dates. They will be making another stress test, and so far I'm very pleasantly surprised with how the server is holding up. You have to keep in mind that basically both NA, or US in general, and the whole Europe is playing on one server. Like, we're not split into regional servers. But so far, I had very little to no lag issues so far, and the servers did not crash even a single time for me, so that's really, really good. I'm really pleasantly surprised about that, because once the game launches or goes into open beta, we're going to be split on 2 servers, so there's going to be one US server and one European server, so that means naturally our player base will be split between those two. I'm sure not evenly, obviously, but you get the point, that there's going to be less load on both of these servers, which is really good. So if the servers are stable already, I'm very confident that there's not going to be any stability issues, or not many at least, in the future. And that's really, really good. Like, if you remember some of the outages we had in C9 where basically the game wasn't playable for a good 2 months, that's a kind of scary thought, and I hope this will not really repeat with Kritika Online. But as I said, so far, I'm really enjoying my stay. I'm gonna cut down the play load a bit once I have my Catspaw 50, my Zurich 50, and as I said, most likely going to be Valkyrie what's gonna be 50. Once I actually achieve that, I'll probably just take a stab or even 2 back, because as I said, there's no point in burning myself out in closed beta. I did learn a lot about the game, so I'm very happy with the progress so far. As far as guides go, I'm kinda reluctant to make guide videos for the simple reason that there already has been a patch in closed beta that changed a few things here and there, and some of the things that I compiled into a potential guide I wanted to make in the future already was changed. So I'm not entirely sure if it's a smart idea to start making guides for closed beta. Maybe general things on how to progress, how the outfit system works and things like that. But I don't think I will be making a lot of guides early on into the game. Anyways, this is one of the more annoying bosses because she has this purple ultra super armor, which does not, or at least I don't think there are many skills that will allow you to break it unless you deplete the bar. So I have to play a bit more carefully and not whiff my skills until I break it. And once I break it, it actually becomes much easier. Or I'm just gonna get killed, you know? That might as well happen too. I really don't like this boss. She's so annoying. And there's I guess part of the arrow combo. She deals really good damage though. As I said, for my Doomblade I had the outfit bonus and things like that. And my Catspaw actually clears dungeon quite easily. So I'm very happy with the performance so far. And I'm really curious to see how she's gonna play at the later levels. I did learn about Shadow Mage a bit more, so I might give him another go. He's currently 51, but as I said, he's probably gonna be on a halt for now. Maybe I'll start playing him a bit again after I tested the Zerg and Valkyrie as well. But so far, as a Shadow Mage, I don't know, he looks really cool and fun, but it seems that I had the wrong approach and did not really use those skills very efficiently. And it seems to be very important to use the auto attack feature, because he has some skills like the Gunfu and I think Rapid Fire is it called. Those are really skills where it's just very tedious if you go with the... You have to keep clicking or pressing the same button to execute it continuously. So some of my viewers told me that I should really start using, at least for those skills. Like, you can manually turn it off for certain skills, so that's really cool. You don't have to do it for every skill. But it seems that for these two skills at least, and potentially some other skills as well, it is a very useful feature. So I'll take a look at that in the future as well, and see how things will be going. But as you can see, steady progress. I used my purple rest points already on my Catspaw, and it's not even... It's 1.5 hours after reset. So as you can see, this... If you just want to spend the good or the high tier rest points, it doesn't even take that much time. I'd say probably, depending on your speed, really, on how much you clear and how efficient you clear, probably 2 hours is a good average on how much you need to spend your purple rest points. Keep in mind that I have the elite status, so I have 30 points more to spend than you normally would have. So if you don't even have the elite status, it's probably going to be even less time. And that's a very, very considerable, or not considerable amount of time, but I guess they were considering the fact that some people simply do not want or do not have the luxury to spend so much time on gaming. And for those people, especially for those people, I think this is a very good mechanic, because it'll allow them to progress at a very fast rate, even if they only play 1 or 2 hours a day, which is like, for those of you, I guess, if you want to go for a more casual approach, that's a very manageable amount, I think. I mean, 1 hour a day is probably what most people will be able to squeeze in. And even if you don't spend all of the rest points, if you do at least some dungeons, you're gonna make progress which does not feel like you're actually treading on the same spot for the whole week. Like, I talked to other people in post beta, and another guy basically went for the approach that he only used the purple rest points and then he swapped to a different character because he wanted to test out different characters. And he said around about a week and he was basically almost through with the game. So you get the idea. It doesn't actually take that long if you're just continuously, steadily go at it. You don't have to no-life the game, because as I said, for no-lifers, there's gonna be, well, it's not a brick wall, but it's definitely a wall that you're gonna be hitting once your rest points are consumed, at which point your progress is definitely going to be a lot slower than for those people who do have rest points left. But as I said, that's a very, very good mechanic, in my opinion, to have at least some control over how fast people progress, and to, well, not minimize, but at least reduce the gap between those hardcore players that try to be the top 1% or top whatever, and people who just want to explore the game a bit and have fun here and there. But then again, you should not punish people for wanting to spend the whole day in a game, but it's also a nice thing to keep in mind that no matter how much people play, you can always sort of catch up to them, especially for PvP. That's going to be important, because as I said in one of the other videos, we currently have a mix of seasons, and seasons are basically like the patch versions of the, I guess, the Korean server. I'm not entirely sure what server we are based on. They said we have a unique system and stuff like that, but we do have to have some similarities between other versions. And basically, oh shoot, that I think it was the Korean server, if I understood the guys correctly that commented on one of my videos, that our PvP system right now is a bit messed up because we have a mixture of seasons, so our patches do not reflect how it can be and how it should be in the future. So at some point in the future, there's a very high chance that we receive one of the patches that'll balance PvP. And I'm not, as I said, I'm still not sure if it removes any gear from PvP or if it just normalizes stuff like in C9, for example. I do not entirely know that, but that's something we'll definitely be learning in the future. Anyways, this was some PvE on my Catspaw. I almost died again, but as I said, I really don't like this boss. And other than that, as I said, I'll be making some more videos on the Berserker, maybe 1 or 2, then the Valkyrie bit. And then finally, maybe this weekend, I assume probably next week though, I'll take a closer look at PvP again. Even though it's a bit skewed right now, so anything we learn about PvP right now might be subject to change anytime in the future, maybe even for open beta. That's really unclear at this point. But so far we haven't gotten any definitive answer on when or how things are going to be looking like. Other than that, I also want to explore some more of the high-end PvE content, as long as it doesn't take too much grinding, because as I said, I think grinding beyond your belief in closed beta is not the smartest thing to do, and I'm definitely not going to do it. Anyways, thank you guys for sticking around, and as always, see you guys next time.